Welcome to NVL Travel Documentary.
Travis. What's up? Hey.
You okay? Yeah? Okay. Just making sure you're okay.
What if I told you that beneath the neon lights of booming cities and the breathtaking landscapes of Arizona, a hidden world exists, one filled with struggle, desperation, and untold stories of survival. Imagine a place where the line between hope and despair is razor thin, where the streets hold secrets that few dare to uncover. This is not just a documentary about homelessness. This is a crime story in disguise, a story of broken systems, lost lives, and the dark underbelly of one of America's fastest-growing crises.
And then you gotta go.
Okay.
That's what you get. Oh, I thought.
How did Arizona become one of the nation's most dangerous places for the homeless? Who profits from this hidden catastrophe? And why are so many falling victim to a cycle of crime, addiction, and systemic neglect? In this travel documentary, we uncover facts about countries that many overlook. This country documentary goes beyond landscapes to reveal hidden struggles. Stay with us as we expose the truth about Arizona's crisis. What you'll see may change your perspective forever. Welcome to NVL Travel Documentary, where we reveal the real stories shaping our world.
Ständes liegt.
Sorry, okay?
Number 1. Understanding homelessness in Arizona. Homelessness is not just about lacking shelter. It is a deeply rooted crisis connected to economic struggles, mental health challenges, and the failure of support systems. In Arizona, a state known for its thriving cities and breathtaking landscapes, the homelessness crisis is escalating at an alarming rate. In recent years, Arizona has experienced one of the fastest-growing homeless populations in the United States. According to the Department of Housing and Urban Development, more than 14,000 people in Arizona face homelessness on any given night, an overwhelming 23% increase since the year 2020. Rising housing costs, job instability, and lack of affordable health care are forcing more individuals and families onto the streets. In the city of Phoenix, for instance, rent prices have surged by over 40% in the past 5 years, making stable housing increasingly unattainable for low-income residents. But this issue is not just about statistics, it is about people. Among those experiencing homelessness in Arizona, nearly 40% are families with children, struggling to find a safe place to sleep.
You want water?
Veterans, who have served their country, make up nearly 9% of Arizona's homeless population, many battling post-traumatic stress disorder and facing difficulties reintegrating into society. Additionally, individuals with disabilities and mental health conditions often lack access to necessary care, trapping them in a cycle of instability. This is not just a humanitarian crisis, it is a failure of public policy. Arizona has invested in emergency shelters and transitional housing programs, yet resources remain inadequate. While local initiatives such as affordable housing projects and mental health outreach offer hope, the demand far exceeds the available supply. Without stronger policies addressing the root causes, such as expanding mental health services, increasing affordable housing, and strengthening employment opportunities, the crisis will only deepen. Arizona's homelessness crisis is not an isolated issue, it reflects broader systemic failures. Addressing this problem requires a shift in priorities, focusing on prevention rather than temporary relief. Because at the end of the day, no one should have to choose between food and rent, between survival and dignity. Number 2. Current state of homelessness in Arizona. Arizona's homelessness crisis is spiraling out of control, making it one of the fastest growing in the nation. Nowhere is this more evident than in the city of Phoenix, where the homeless population has surged by 450% over the past 10 years. Once referred to as Thunderdome, the area now known as the Danger Zone has become a symbol of this escalating emergency, sheltering nearly 1,000 unsheltered individuals struggling to survive. However, this crisis is not limited to Phoenix. Even Scottsdale, a city renowned for its luxury homes and high-end shopping, has witnessed a rise in homelessness. As wealthier neighborhoods push people out, they are left with no choice but to live on the streets. Encampment clearances, even presented as solutions from the area to another without addressing the core issues that drive homelessness in the first place. Beyond the lack of shelter, the conditions faced by these individuals are severe. Arizona's extreme climate fluctuations, with summer temperatures exceeding 110 degrees Fahrenheit and winter nights dropping below freezing, put lives at risk every day. Without access to clean water, medical care, or proper nutrition, many suffer from severe dehydration, heat stroke, or hypothermia. The dangers do not stop there. Life on the streets exposes individuals to violence, theft, and even sexual assault, particularly among women and vulnerable populations. The crisis is further worsened by human trafficking. Arizona ranks as the 13th highest state in the United States for trafficking cases, with many victims being homeless individuals exploited due to their desperate circumstances. Meanwhile, city officials and policymakers continue to struggle in their search for lasting solutions, as shelters remain overwhelmed and affordable housing remains scarce. With nearly 1,000 people living without shelter in Arizona's harsh conditions, the situation demands immediate action. Temporary fixes are no longer enough. True progress requires long-term solutions, including the expansion of mental health services. Number 3. Causes of homelessness in Arizona. Arizona's homelessness crisis is not just about losing a home. It is about a system that continuously fails its most vulnerable. And one of the biggest driving forces, the soaring cost of housing. In the city of Phoenix, rent has surged by an astonishing 177% within a single year, leaving low-income residents struggling to keep up. Imagine having to choose between paying rent or buying food for your family, because for many people in Arizona, that is the harsh reality. But rising costs are only part of the problem. The severe shortage of affordable housing has made the situation even worse. While the demand for low-cost housing has skyrocketed, construction has failed to keep pace. Strict zoning laws and building restrictions make it nearly impossible to develop enough affordable units, forcing thousands onto the streets or into overcrowded shelters. And with shelters already overwhelmed, where are people supposed to go? Arizona's rapid population growth only adds to the crisis. The state's booming economy and warm climate attract thousands of new residents every year, further increasing housing demand. In cities like Phoenix and Tucson, the housing market has become so competitive that low-income individuals and families are left without viable options. As the supply remains insufficient, rental prices continue to rise, pushing even more people into homelessness. Of course, the issue extends beyond housing. many individuals experiencing homelessness are also battling substance abuse and mental health challenges, making it nearly impossible for them to regain stability. Approximately 37% of Arizona's homeless population suffers from a serious mental illness, yet access to treatment remains extremely limited. Without effective rehabilitation programs, many remain trapped in a relentless cycle of addiction, job loss, and homelessness. And what about support services? Right now, government funding for mental health care, addiction treatment, and job training is both insufficient and poorly allocated. Even those actively seeking help often encounter endless bureaucratic barriers, delaying their access to crucial resources. Without these services, how can people be expected to rebuild their lives? So, what is the solution? Arizona's homelessness crisis will not fix itself. It is time for bold action, expanding affordable housing, increasing mental health funding, and cutting through bureaucratic inefficiencies. If we are ready to take action and fix the system, comment 1. If we choose to ignore the crisis and let it continue, comment 0. Number 4. Personal stories. The human impact. For Maria, homelessness is not just about survival. It is about holding on to hope, love, and resilience. A longtime resident of Phoenix, she has spent 15 years navigating life on the streets alongside her husband. Every day is a battle against extreme heat, hunger, and the constant fear of violence. Yet through it all, their love has remained unshaken. People think homelessness is just about not having a house. Maria says, but it takes away your sense of safety, your dignity. You have to fight every day just to keep going. Their journey is proof that even in the harshest conditions, love and perseverance can endure. Then there is David, a former United States Army sergeant who once dedicated his life to serving his country. But after leaving the military, his biggest battle was not on the battlefield, it was against addiction. Like many veterans, he struggled with post-traumatic stress disorder and depression, turning to alcohol as a way to cope. Before he realized it, his drinking cost him his job, his home, and his sense of purpose. For years he drifted through the streets of Phoenix, feeling invisible and hopeless. But one day, something changed. I hit rock bottom and realized I had two choices: keep drinking or fight for my life, he recalls. That decision led him to a veteran rehabilitation program where he received the help he desperately needed. Now, sober, David is rebuilding his life and mentoring other veterans who face the same struggles. His story is a powerful reminder that without access to recovery programs, many will never escape the cycle of homelessness. These stories show that homelessness is more than just a statistic. It is real people with real struggles. Maria's resilience highlights the strength of the human spirit, while David's experience underscores the urgent need for mental health and addiction recovery services. The reality is, homelessness is a crisis that can affect anyone. Number 5. Impacts of homelessness. Homelessness is not just a social issue. It is a crisis with far-reaching consequences on health, public safety, the economy, and the environment. As of the year 2025, an estimated 653,000 people in the United States are experiencing homelessness, marking a 12% increase from previous years. While the reasons behind homelessness vary, the impacts are undeniable and growing more severe. One of the most alarming aspects of homelessness is its effect on health. Without access to consistent health care, thousands suffer from untreated illnesses and infections, leading to worsening conditions and, in many cases, premature death. Chronic diseases such as diabetes and hypertension are disproportionately high among the homeless population. Studies indicate that nearly 20% of homeless individuals suffer from diabetes, while more than 50% struggle with high blood pressure. Mental health is also a major crisis. Post-traumatic stress disorder, severe anxiety, and depression are widespread, exacerbated by the stress of living without stable shelter. Alarmingly, suicide rates among homeless individuals are 9 times higher than those with housing, making this a dire public health emergency. The connection between homelessness and crime cannot be ignored. While not all homeless individuals engage in criminal activity, the instability of street living contributes to higher crime rates in affected areas. Drug offenses, theft, and violent crimes are particularly prevalent. A tragic example occurred in the city of Phoenix, where within just 1 week, 4 people were murdered inside a homeless encampment. law enforcement agencies across major cities report a 25% increase in crime in areas with large homeless populations, raising significant concerns about public safety. These conditions create fear among residents and business owners, further dividing communities. Homelessness also places a significant financial burden on taxpayers. Government spending on emergency medical care, law enforcement interventions, and temporary shelters has surged. In the city of Los Angeles alone, more than $1.2 billion are spent annually to address homelessness issues, yet sustainable solutions remain out of reach. Property values in affected neighborhoods often decrease by 5 to 10%, while tourism declines as urban areas become overwhelmed with encampments. Businesses suffer, and cities lose revenue that could otherwise be allocated to development and social programs. Beyond social and economic costs, homelessness has a severe environmental impact. Without access to proper sanitation facilities, public urination and improper waste disposal contribute to urban pollution and health hazards. The accumulation of trash, discarded needles, and human waste in encampments leads to costly cleanup operations. Cities across the United States collectively spend more than $200 million annually on sanitation efforts related to homelessness. These issues not only pose a risk to public health, but also degrade the overall quality of life for all residents. Homelessness is not just an individual struggle, it is a societal challenge that affects everyone. Without meaningful intervention, the problem will continue to escalate, worsening public health, safety, economic stability, and environmental conditions. Addressing this crisis requires a multifaceted approach, including expanded mental health services, affordable housing initiatives, and community-based support systems. The time to act is now, before the consequences become even more devastating. Number 6. Solutions to homelessness in Arizona. Addressing homelessness in Arizona requires a comprehensive strategy that includes expanding affordable housing, enhancing support services, investing in rehabilitation programs, and fostering community collaboration. Expanding affordable housing. Arizona is taking proactive steps to address its affordable housing shortage through innovative initiatives. Governor Katie Hobbs' fiscal year 2026 executive budget proposes a one-time deposit of $15 million into the State Housing Trust Fund to support. Additionally, the budget recommends extending the state housing tax credit program, increasing it to $10 million per year through the year 2031, as an incentive for developers to build more affordable housing units. Moreover, nonprofit organizations such as Family Promise of Greater Phoenix are pioneering cost-affordable solutions by repurposing shipping containers into affordable housing units, providing rapid shelter for those in need. Improving support services. Recognizing that housing alone is not enough, Arizona has increased funding for essential support services. In the state's fiscal year 2023, nearly 40,000 individuals identified as at risk of or experiencing homelessness received intervention services. These services include mental health treatment, job training, and addiction rehabilitation, all of which are critical in helping individuals regain stability. Programs designed to transition people from homelessness to self-sufficiency have also been strengthened, reflecting a holistic approach to tackling the root causes of homelessness. Rehabilitation and substance abuse treatment. To address the interconnected challenges of homelessness and substance abuse, Arizona has invested in state-funded rehabilitation programs. These initiatives promote addiction recovery by combining mental health therapy with housing assistance, ensuring that individuals receive comprehensive care. For instance, the Arizona Department of Housing has allocated $7.5 million toward permanent supportive housing, targeting individuals who require both long-term housing and ongoing support services. Such integrated care models are essential in breaking the cycle of homelessness and fostering long-term recovery. Community collaboration and policy changes. Effectively addressing homelessness requires strong collaboration among government agencies, nonprofit organizations, businesses, and local communities. In Arizona, this cooperative spirit is evident through various partnerships aimed at developing comprehensive solutions. Eviction prevention programs have been introduced, offering rental assistance and financial aid to individuals and families at risk of losing their homes. A significant portion of funding, $17,700,000, has been dedicated to rental assistance programs and eviction prevention efforts, helping to stabilize families and reduce homelessness. These measures not only prevent individuals from becoming homeless, but also contribute to overall community resilience and stability. In summary, Arizona's multifaceted approach to combating homelessness through expanding affordable housing, strengthening support services, investing in rehabilitation, and encouraging community collaboration demonstrates a well-rounded and compassionate strategy. By addressing the root causes and providing sustainable solutions, Arizona is working toward long-term change, ensuring that fewer people fall into homelessness and that those who do have a pathway to recovery and stability. Number 7. Additional solutions and innovations. Addressing homelessness in Arizona requires innovative and community strength solutions. Let us explore some key initiatives that are making a difference. Tiny home villages. Several cities in Arizona are experimenting with tiny home villages as transitional housing solutions. For example, the city of Tucson has introduced a project featuring 64 square foot prefabricated shelters, providing temporary housing for individuals transitioning out of homelessness. Similarly, the city of Glendale has launched a $14 million tiny home community specifically designed for veterans, aiming to offer not just shelter but also a supportive environment. These initiatives reflect a growing trend toward cost-prohibitive and efficient housing solutions, technology, and mobile resources. Cities such as Surprise are leveraging technology to support homeless individuals by introducing mobile applications like the Safe Reporting app. This tool allows residents to report non-emergency situations involving homeless individuals or encampments, facilitating connections to essential outreach services. Community-led initiatives. Grassroots efforts play a crucial role in addressing immediate needs. Volunteer organizations across Arizona provide meals, clothing, and medical care to people experiencing homelessness. Nonprofit organizations such as Eden Village of Arizona are working to establish tiny home communities that offer not only shelter but also a sense of belonging and long-term support. These community-led initiatives help individuals regain stability and work towards self-sufficiency. Public education and awareness. Raising public awareness is essential in reducing stigma and promoting effective solutions. Educational workshops and awareness campaigns are being conducted to inform communities about the complexities of homelessness and the importance of supportive housing. The Arizona Housing Coalition's 30th annual conference, scheduled for the 7th and 8th of May in the year 2025, will bring together policymakers, nonprofit leaders, and community stakeholders to discuss strategies for affordable housing and homeless services. These educational efforts encourage public engagement and foster a collective approach to addressing homelessness. Arizona's strategy to combat homelessness is multifaceted, integrating innovative housing solutions, technological advancements, community involvement, and public education. These combined efforts aim to create a supportive environment where individuals can transition out of homelessness and achieve lasting stability. By fostering collaboration and embracing new solutions, Arizona is making progress in the fight against homelessness. Homelessness in Arizona is more than just a crisis. It's a reflection of deep-rooted challenges in housing, mental health services, and economic stability. From skyrocketing rent prices to the lack of affordable housing and limited access to rehabilitation programs, thousands of individuals and families continue to struggle without a place to call home. Yet, as we've explored, solutions do exist. Whether through expanded housing initiatives, improved mental health care, or innovative community-driven projects, progress is possible when we come together with compassion and commitment. This issue isn't just about numbers, it's about real people, each with their own struggles and hopes for a better future. Addressing homelessness requires more than temporary fixes. It demands long-term strategies, policy changes, and collective action from both the government and the community. The journey toward lasting solutions begins with awareness and advocacy, and every effort counts. If this video resonated with you, consider leaving a comment to share your thoughts or experiences. And if you'd like to see more content that explores real-life challenges and solutions around the world, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to NVL Travel Documentary. Together, we can spark meaningful conversations and inspire change. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next journey.